Is it definitely recording?
Yes.
Don't want to waste my time. Have you got me central shot? Right, here we go. My cameraman is the gargoyle, he's behind. I call him the gargoyle in this one because there's a character I'm about to talk about called the gargoyle. I normally call him the goblin. Stop laughing. Right, so, don't put your finger in front of the lens. Right, we're going to talk today on my TV blog, my special video edition, about the incredible Hulk cartoon from the 1990s, I think. Yeah, it was the 1990s one. 2 seasons it ran for. The first season was just called The Incredible Hulk. The second season was called The Incredible Hulk and the She-Hulk. I think it was rubbish, but I'll talk about that in a minute. The first season is quite dark for a kids' cartoon, actually. Lots of not very happy endings, if you see what I mean. You know, and Gargoyle's shaking his head. He's not agreeing with me. But it is, by the standards of kids' cartoons, it's a little bit dark. But the whole point of the first season is that he's already the Hulk when it starts. You see a flashback of when he gets made into the Hulk, but you don't. That doesn't happen in the first episode. He's already the Hulk. And the whole point of the first season is Betty Ross, his girlfriend, is trying to cure him while he's off looking for a cure elsewhere. And her dad, the General Ross, and his right-hand man, Major Talbot, who's a bit of a nuthead, is trying to track him down. Now, basically, that's the setup of all the Hulk stories you've ever seen. The movies are like that. It's nothing special. But where this works is that it seems to be like one long story across the season. There's lots of little hints in the earlier episodes about what Betty's up to in the lab. She's building this tank with Doc. I can't remember his name. Samson.
He's in the Avengers too.
I'm getting schooled here by the goblin. Sorry for going yeah, Doc Samson and Betty are working together to build this tank, but we're not sure what they're going to do with this tank once they've got it. They're just building it in the background of lots of episodes. While General Ross and the Hulkbuster team are out trying to catch the Hulk, and they've got a bloke on the Hulkbuster team, and he's from S.H.I.E.L.D. And you get the idea that the Army and S.H.I.E.L.D., they don't get along. They work together because they have to, but they don't get along. And then you've got the supervillain team of the Lady and the Gargoyle, who works for them. I love those two. I think they're brilliant because the Lady, yes, he's very smart. He has a huge brain and he's massively intelligent.
Yeah.
But he's not half as clever as he thinks he is. And the Gargoyle is actually much cleverer. And they have this really, I don't know if that's what it's like in the comics, because I've said before, I don't read a lot of superhero comics at all. I don't like them. But the Gargoyle works for the leader because he has to, because he needs the lab and all the rest of it. But he takes the piss out of the leader all the time, mocks them all the time, and the leader's totally oblivious to it. So I like that little comedy villains. I like having comedy villains because the real villains are actually probably Talbot. General Ross's right-hand man is the main villain, really, because Ross is just trying to catch him, and he fudges it a bit. He's not a proper villain because he always has to be sort of looking out for his daughter as well, who's in love with Bruce Banner and all the rest of it. So he can never be a real villain. But Talbot is just a psycho. He's just a nutjob, constantly trying to kill the Hulk, until the very last story in the season 1. Because in that season, in that story, the 3-parter, batshit crazy, every character you've seen in the show so far pops up just about. Everything comes to a head. And Talbot actually calms down a bit because he sees that the General Ross, has cracked up. He's gone completely over the top because at the thought of his daughter marrying the Hulk, you can tell he's cracked up because his uniform's all tatty. And he's got a bit of a beard, and he's going a bit, And Talbot actually sees how far the General's gone and tries to calm him down. So that's the first sort of, but that's the first time that Talbot is the reasonable one. He's always been the more gung-ho one all the way through. And they're the real villains, really. of the show. The gargoyle and the lead is just there, I think, because someone thought kids shows have to have a supervillain. You know, and the gargoyle's little and ugly and hunchbacked, and the lead has got a big head, so they're like their supervillains. The show's really good. The serial format, 13 episode serial format, works brilliantly to me. There's lots of little hints building up. I think that's the kind of show kids should be watching. Make them remember stuff from week to week. I mean, the goblins are not very bright, and he managed to keep up, so... I was waiting for an argument, I didn't get one. He managed to follow it all right. So, you know, there's no reason why not. The second season, though, and I've looked it up, I did a lot of research, I went on Wikipedia. You know, Wikipedia's never wrong. And Wikipedia tells me that the reason season 2 isn't as dark as season 1 is because they got wrong for making it a bit too dark and they had to lighten it up a bit. So they brought in the She-Hulk, and apparently, I don't know what she's like in the comics, because like I say, I don't watch the comics, I don't read the comics. But in this program, and I don't think, the Goblin doesn't agree with me on this, but she is the most annoying character.
She is.
She is. Oh, he's nodding now. Yeah? He said he liked it. Anyway.
She's always joking.
She's always joking, and the jokes aren't funny, is the point. She's really annoying, and she seems to take over the show. She seems to be the lead character in season 2. Bruce is just sort of in the background, and he does turn into the Hulk, and then the Hulk and her have a bit of an argument, or a bit of a sparring match. And then she's generally the main focus of the episodes, and I don't like that. Because I want to watch a show about the Incredible Hulk, I don't want her. If she give her own show, and tell people, you know, this is the She-Hulk show, and make it about her, and make her not annoying as hell, and then I'll watch it. But if I want to watch a show about the Incredible Hulk, I want to watch a show about the Incredible Hulk. They set up at the end of season 1 a brilliant idea with the Grey Hulk coming into it, and the Green Hulk and the Grey Hulk sharing Banner's body, and there's been a sort of a psychological battle before every transformation to decide which one comes out. It's a brilliant idea, and it never really gets the chance to breathe in season 2, because it's, oh, you know, She-Hulk's going to a fashion show, or She-Hulk's making a movie, or, you know, it's daft little ideas like that that take away from what, if season 2 with the Grey Hulk and the Green Hulk had been done the same way as the first series, with lots of, you know, hints and building up a storyline, it could have been great. But instead, we've got daft little standalone stories about her being daft, basically. And I didn't think it was as good. It's a lot shorter. I think they only made enough episodes so that if you put the 2 seasons together, it makes roughly the same length as one season of a show. Because you had, what, 13 episodes in season 1, and they only made, I think, 8 or 9 for season 2. It was much shorter seasons, so I think they were just making up the numbers, really. So, no great loss, to be honest with you. If season 2 had been like season 1, I'd be saying, oh, I wish there'd been more, I wish there'd been more, but the fact is, it's no great loss, it's a bit rubbish. I think that's about it, really. Bob Forward is the main writer, and credit to him, because, you know, before he started having to deal with the make it lighter, make it funnier commands, he was putting together a really good show. Lots of big name guest actors, or big names for the 90s anyway. Luke Perry voiced Rick Grimes, not very well, but you know, you got Luke Perry on your show in the 90s, you're doing something right. Mark Hamill, who is the essential Joker, really, from Batman, you know, from the animated series and various computer games and all the rest of it. He is the Joker. He voices the Gargoyle, which I didn't realise, because say what you will about Mark Hamill, he can, you know, he's got a range when it comes to voices, because I didn't realise until I read the credits.
That makes sense.
I didn't realise until I read the credits that he had done that. And Max Headroom himself, Matt, my speech impediment makes me struggle with his name, Thruett, or you know what I mean, is the leader. So, and they play off each other brilliantly. I don't know if they're even in the room at the same. I don't know what the procedure is for recording the dialogue for these shows, but if they weren't in the room, they're geniuses because they play off each other brilliantly. So the cast was great, the writing was great, and aside from the change in focus for season 2, it could have been great all the way. I was going to talk about Spider-Man, but Spidey 81, as I've been calling it on Twitter, because it was a show from 1981. The DVD calls it Spider-Man 5000, which makes no sense, but because it was never called that when it was on TV. But it was the show from 1981, and I was going to talk about it because I've watched all the DVDs we've got in the house, 3 DVDs of it, which isn't the full series, which I'm a bit annoyed about because it came in a box set, so you would assume it was a full series, but it isn't. There's another 8 episodes or something tack on the end, which I haven't seen. But I'm going to wait to talk about that for another couple of weeks or 3 weeks maybe, because as you'll see below this video, down here, there's going to be another video in which the Goblin, the man holding the camera right now, is going to tell you what he thought of the Incredible Hulk cartoon. So we're going to wait, and then when he's watched the Spider-Man cartoons, which he hasn't watched yet, because he's watching Horrid Henry at the moment. Henry, unbelievable. I thought I'd educated him better than that. So once he's watched Spider-Man, we'll do another one where...
I've only got one more just because I don't really left anyways.
Quite alright. You watch your rubbish if you want. So, yeah, it'll be a little while yet, because I don't want to do these videos every week. So, because I want to get, I'll do a proper typey post next week. And so, in a couple of weeks, or maybe 3 weeks, we'll have a Spider-Man post, and we'll learn what we thought of that. But, yeah, that's about it for the Incredible Hulk. Little extra line at the end. We've had 2 episodes so far, completely off topic, of Being Human Series 4 so far, at the point of I'm recording this. 2 episodes so far on Sunday. Yeah. It's awesome, right? A lot of people were saying, oh, it'll never be the same without... I can't even remember his name. I've forgotten him already. The vampire. I genuinely can't remember his name. What was the vampire called? It took me tongue, it's gone. But anyway, Mitchell, yeah, when he died at the end of Series 3, there's a big spoiler if you haven't seen it. When he died at the end of Series 3, everyone was like, oh, we'll never be the same without him. It's like he was never there. Pointless. But, and then of course the first episode of Series 4, when they killed off, shall I tell you? Yeah, it says spoilers at the top of the screen. When they killed off George, yeah, everyone was like, oh, never be the same. Personally, right, I'm glad to get back, see the back of him. Because Russell Tovey, I don't know if you pronounce his name, but the man can't act. Squealing imbecile, I call him. The man can't act. I'm sure he's a very nice man. I've been told by people who've met him at conventions, he's a very nice man, very friendly. I'm sure he is, but he can't act. He's atrocious. And I'm glad to be shot of him. But, I just wanted to get that in, because I don't know when I'll be able to write about Being Human. I'll probably wait until the series is over. I just wanted to get that in while it was fresh on my head. So, we're going to press stop any second now. Tell me how long I've been talking for, Gargoyle.
Over 13 minutes.
Over 13 minutes, probably coming up to the limit for how long I can put a video on for. So we're going to stop talking, and I will see you all whenever I see you, and I'll be posting, and come and watch me on Twitter. Come and read me tweets on Twitter. PAF you can find me easy enough for that. PAF, and yeah, that'll do. Say goodbye, Gargoyle.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.